The NBA has once again found a new way to have a chaotic and drama-filled NBA postseason and regular season with the add-in of the play-in tournament. The NBA play-in tournament was unanimously approved before the start of this NBA season. The play-in tournament was previously used in the 2020 NBA season in the bubble. The play-in tournament includes the 9 seed, the 10 seed, as well as the 7 and 8 seeds. How it works is the 7 and 8 seeds play, the winner ends up becoming the 7 seed in their respective conference. And then the loser of the 7 and 8 game goes on to play the winner of the 9 and 10, and the winner of that game ends up going to become the number 8 seed for their respective conference. This has created a mixed reaction from both the players, the fan, and the hardcore fan. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. At the start, I really like this NBA play-in tournament, but let's see in my opinion by the end of this video, and how it changes or stays the same as the video goes on. This video should help you guys be able to have a better opinion on the play-in tournament as a whole, and if we should keep it, or if they should get rid of it at the end of this NBA season and not bring it over into next season. The NBA players and higher-ups all have different opinions on the NBA play-in tournament. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, loves the idea of a play-in tournament due to the fact that he always has emphasized on finding new ways to make the regular season and playoffs matter even more. But players like Luka Doncic doesn't see the point in the play-in tournament, just like Draymond Green earlier in the month of April has said, I want to win every game I play because I hate losing. It really bothers me, and so that's what motivates me, not fighting for some play-in spot. LeBron James has also blasted the play-in tournament as of late when his team started fading in the standings. Scott Brooks, the Wizards coach, has also changed his stance on the NBA tournament. He originally was all for the play-in tournament, and then once he got the A seed late on the final day of the regular season, he jokingly changed his opinion and said he changed his mind now that their Wizards have finished in 8th place. And he said he's with the king, and he said who created this play-in thing, whoever said that, they need to be fired. As well as another higher up, Mark Cuban, also changed his stance back at the time when Dallas Mavericks were technically in the play-in. So a lot of the people who have the highest feelings on the play-in tournaments are the teams that were in the play-in tournament at one point and hated them being in it. So that's not 100% a reason they should hate on it, all because they were in it, but not a lot of other players have an opinion on it. It's only players such as Luka Doncic and executive Mark Cuban, or in other words, owner, but it was them when they were at one point the 9 seed or the A seed. And then recently it was LeBron blasting it when he knew he was out on his injury and would be out and the team started to fade, and now the team is in the play-in tournament against the Warriors. As well as Scott Brooks, who originally was all for it back when he's 10 seed, but as soon as you move to the A seed or the 7 seed, you're like, nah, this ain't really my thing anymore. But it does create a chance for the 9 and 10 seed to make it if they truly are better and are ridiculed by injuries like the Wizards were, who were missing a lot of their starters for a decent bit of the time this season. The NBA fans have just as much of a mixed reaction as the NBA players do. It is majority 50-50 on most polling platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter are mainly 50-50 in these play-in tournament opinions. Overall, a lot of them who don't like the idea feel it is just about money or is just another way to compensate for the last 2 shortened seasons. I, for one, agree that it's mainly about money, but at the same time, for me as a fan, I really do enjoy being able to see more basketball with more bigger implications online for future of NBA franchises. Since you, the fan, are the ones who are watching my video right now, comment down below your guys' opinion on the play-in tournament and how you guys could see it being better if it is changed in certain ways. Storylines. There's storylines in sports, storylines in movies, storylines in shows, storylines in books. There's storylines in pretty much everything. Even storylines in middle school and elementary school recess in football. Maybe you'll catch another touchdown the next day and keep the story going. Once again though, storylines are a main thing in sports and are a huge thing for us fans in sports. Like, will Lakers win another title this year? Are the Bucks finally able to get over the hump? Are the young teams going to make an impact on this year's playoffs? So many storylines could happen. So many storylines could get played out, and the storylines will be helped by this play-in tournament, in my opinion. Indiana versus Hornets. Boston versus Wizards. Lakers versus Warriors. And San Antonio versus the Grizzlies. So many storylines are in that alone. I'm going to go over a lot of them with you and why that helps the play-in tournament alone on giving us a better atmosphere for this playoffs being one of the better ones ever in recent memory. Let's start off with the East. The Wizards and Celtics, 7 and 8 seed. That alone gives us a huge way for us to enjoy these playoffs. If the Wizards find a way to beat the Celtics, a team without Jaylen Brown, we will get to see a Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant playoff series. And let's not forget that, yes, Durant and Westbrook still said they love each other, but they will still be going on head-to-head, and they will still be taking it personal all the way through that series, if that series were to happen. It also gives us another look at the Celtics, who have had a couple Eastern Conference Finals in the last couple years, as well as an Eastern Conference Finals last year alone. Pacers, Hornets, the other Eastern Conference matchup. Is it time for another rebuild from the Pacers after their one a few years ago with Paul George? They were competent of a playoff contender, but now with them being the 9th seed, they don't really look as good as we thought they'd be. We thought they were going to be a higher seed than what they are, but the injuries have got to them this season. As for the Hornets, how good are they truly? They were at one point the 4 seed. They were at one point the 5 seed before LaMelo got down. Is this gonna, if they win this game and get in against the number 1 seed Sixers, do they have a true chance at toppling the Sixers? Like I said, storylines are a huge part of sports. And though I don't know about you guys, but those storylines sound amazing to me. The chance of seeing a Westbrook and Durant playoff series after all the times they were in playoff series together, we haven't seen that yet. The ability of Bradley Beal locking up Kyrie. And I don't think James Harden is going to be in the first game or two of that first round, but we'll see. Or at least he'll be rusty if he is. As for the Western Conference, you have the Lakers and Warriors as the 7 and 8 seeds. We know how much LeBron James versus Stephen Curry has given us in the last 5 years in the NBA, 6 years in the NBA. And the question marks for Lakers include, can they repeat? Are they good enough to repeat? And can the Warriors get carried enough by Curry to make a Re-Believe Warriors 2.0? But they don't feel like that, even though they truly are. They're in the exact same boat as them, except these Warriors have Stephen Curry, one of the best shooters of all time, if not the best. But you got to remember, that LeBron versus Curry matchup on Wednesday is going to be spectacular for us fans to watch. And for the millions of NBA fans who will be watching that game, it'll go down as one of the better games. And without the play-in tournament, we would have never had that matchup, most likely. We might never have this matchup again at the same level as it being the playoffs. As for the last Western Conference game, you have the Grizzlies and the Spurs. You got to remember, the Grizzlies made their number 1 goal. They don't really have much of a storyline this offseason besides how much their young players can get experience. I mean, that's not much of a storyline to me. I'm not going to be watching that game, I don't think. But like I said before, the storylines of all these other games add up. But then again, the Spurs do have a storyline, though. The Spurs have most likely the last game with DeMar DeRozan before he goes to like a severely higher winning franchise. And can the young team in San Antonio build up enough experience to get him going in the future? That is a major thing for this NBA postseason in this play-in tournament. The thing that I love about this play-in tournament, though, is a lot of the teams in the 9 and 10 and a couple of the, I think it's, Boston still, and Hornets, they're still all younger teams. They're severely younger. So all these young teams are getting playoff experience, which is awesome for their growth and their mentalities. If they can do good in the playoffs, they can do good in the regular season. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the play-in tournament. I'm a fan of storylines. I understand there's a lot of mixed reactions, but the storylines alone, the experience we'll have as fans of the playoffs, is going to be one of the best in recent years. I firmly do believe that. If this Lakers game is as good as we think it'll be, if these first round matchups are as good as we think it'll be, usually the first round matchups are written off in the first couple of days. And like the A seed and the 7 seed aren't going to be truly good matchups. I think the last 7 and 2 seed we truly had a good matchup on was the Bucks and Celtics a couple of years back. But I mean, I was at the majority of the Bucks games, so I mean, I'm kind of biased on that. But either way, though, like that was still one of my favorite ones. But anyway, with that, like I said, though, I'm still a fan of the play-in tournaments. If you are still undecided, try to keep your opinion on it open until either after the play-in tournament or, like I said, until after the first round, until you fully decide. Because, if the Wizards win, it will be such a good series with Durant and Westbrook and just the Nets and the Wizards as a whole. Because you got to remember, if the Wizards and Nets play, Wizards took 2 out of 3. But then again, Wizards and Nets never had all 3. They had 2 of the big 3. So that's a storyline keep an eye on. I just feel there's so much to be happy about with this play-in tournament that a lot of us fans are overlooking it. And that, like I said, is why this video is titled Why the Play-in Tournament is Better Than We Thought. And it truly is. It is way better than we thought. Us as fans should enjoy every single second of this play-in, besides for maybe the one game. And even then, that game's going to be a solid game. As long as it gives us fans the ability to love more basketball, watch more basketball, and include a better, playoffs, then I'm all for it. Even if it is just another cash grab by the NBA. But that's all for today. Hope you guys stay safe and have a good rest of your night, day, whenever you're watching this, and peace.